on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
With beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
On the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, hey, we got just what you need on Vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin J.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin J. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin J. Vitamin J, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Try run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's by smoke, then we toke all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Take it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mind struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock glitz, know they love how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm at 60, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. Then reload the clip and record the clip. It's go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tune into that VGP.
Take over the west and the east. Hey, we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Boom. All right. And hello. Welcome everyone to tonight's episode of the Vitamin G podcast. I am your host, Pharaoh, and tonight looks like I'm rocking solo. I sent this out to everyone, before the show, let them know we were going live. But life seems to be life for everyone, so it's gonna be me being solo a lot more. Still look forward to rocking with y'all, talking about a bunch of gaming topics. I'm going to try to be going live a lot more often. Probably do this episode today, another episode tomorrow. But yeah, it's great. Great to see you guys. Love rocking out with you guys. Man, it's been a crazy week of gaming news. So much to talk about. And I'm going to try to keep it in the realm of 3 to 4 topics majority, but it's a lot going on. You got the EA thing that I really want to go into. We got the stuff we're going to talk about tonight as far as is the Xbox dead? The stuff that's going on with Sony. We got Ghost of Yote dropping this week. More ROG ally banter going on in the Twitter streets. So yeah, it's been very, very interesting what's been going on out there. I see we got Stanley and Ali in the chat. Hey, anyone else is in the chat, drop a comment so I can shout you guys out. Really love to do that. Make sure you hit that like button, share this out, hit that notification bell. Lately I've been diving back into Call of Duty, just trying to get ready for the Black Ops 7 campaign. We all know, as I've stated multiple times, I try to stay away from the multiplayer. I don't want to get locked into that to where I'm like no-lifing it. I already no-life Madden, so I need time for single players. And believe it or not, that's one of the main reasons I'm like excited for the ROG allies. Like when I'm not in my main gaming area and like I'm like laying in my bed or I'm sitting on the couch with the kids and they're watching their stuff, I can still have like one earbud in. I could be playing some of my single player games that I need to finish, like an Expedition 33, or I can, dive into a Hollow Knight Silk Song and, things like that, and kind of play that on the ROG. So I'm looking forward to that. For me personally. What about you? If anybody in the chat was able to pre-order the ROG or is planning to, feel free to let me know. I was able to secure the pre-order for, what is it? October 16th is when it comes out. Yeah, October 16th. I checked the website today. It looks like even on Best Buy, the first wave of Ally and Ally X's are sold out. I went to look today, and it looks like the next shipment that you can still pre-order Xbox ROG Ally X, but the date that you'll get it now is, I believe, November the 14th, where I live. So it looks like it has sold out to an extent to where you'll have to wait for the next batch to come through. So it is selling well, even at the high price point, which is something that I anticipated. I've been saying for a while now that this device not only appeals to, the Xbox brand loyalists, but it appeals to a certain segment of the PC market who is into PC handhelds. The Xbox Unified experience kind of speaks to people on the PC side as well as the console side, and just the power of it being new hardware, and the pricing is, with having the Z2 Extreme Trip, it is reasonable compared to the other options in the market, like the Lenovo Legion Go 2. I think at the lowest is at 1,300, and at the highest is like 15 or something like that, something crazy. It's either between 12 and 15 or between 13 and 15. And then you got the GDP-1, which is something that a lot of people have been talking about recently. And that one's like really crazily priced. So quite interesting. We also have the Call of Duty beta dropping this week on top of Ghost of Yote. October is an extremely busy month for games. I'm going to have to pull out, if we do an episode tomorrow, which I do plan on doing an episode tomorrow, I'm going to have to pull out a list of all the games coming out in October. It's a crazy month. If you have a backlog, don't plan on touching it. if you're planning on playing anything that's coming out, if you plan on playing anything that's coming out this month, just your backlog's not getting touched. It's not. Ali, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for your backlog. It's just gonna be forgotten for now, because October is such a crazy month. Ninja Gaiden 4, Call of Duty, Ghost of Yote. If you're an enthusiast of like older games, or you have that nostalgia, I should say, that Mortal Kombat game is coming out. The one that has all the old Mortal Kombats. I think it's called Mortal Kombat Legacy. It's just so many games. I can't even name them all. I'm going to find a list. There's so many games coming out in October. So much going on. So Stanley says that he wants to wait on the handheld until Microsoft makes one. I do believe that they are going to make a handheld. I think here's my honest belief. I believe that Xbox is very cognizant of the criticism that it receives from the media and fans of gaming who are not fans of Xbox. Xbox is held to a standard that no other company has to meet, which is like damn near perfection. So I think that they decided to release this handheld with Asus first, so that they can get out into the market with an Xbox branded device partnered with Asus that takes all of the criticism of everything that is wrong with it, and they are able to work along with Asus to kind of fix those things and fine tune it and work with the community. And then, yes, very much like a beta. And then in the following year, so I'd say I mean, it's kind of late. So 2026, maybe 2027 at the latest, they will release an Xbox branded handheld, but it's still going to be a PC handheld. I don't think that I don't think we're going to get like an Xbox Series handheld where it kind of is very similar to the Xbox One, Xbox Series UI. I think this unified experience is going to be kind of what you get going forward across all future Xbox devices, and we're going to kind of talk about that. Going into our first topic. Hey, we might as well just roll into it now. We've been kind of just chit-chatting for a minute. Let me go ahead and grab a timestamp. And what we got here before we jump into our first topic. All right, so let's go ahead. Is the Xbox console dead? So this question has come about as a result of a former executive at Microsoft kind of going back and forth with a fan of gaming. Not even necessarily, I mean, I haven't gone through the person's profile to determine if they were an Xbox fan or a PC fan, or, you know, if they were a brand fan at all, you know, but they were just kind of talking shit to Mike Ybarra, and his clapback was, that's why your console is dead. And everyone knows that he was referencing Xbox. So, you know, the past couple of days on social media and on YouTube, I've seen a bunch of people kind of bringing up the question, is Xbox dead? And not necessarily answering the question. It's just been 100% defense of Xbox. And I respect that, because you're an Xbox fan. You want to defend, and plus you're invested in the platform. You bought all these games. So you want to defend your purchase and your ecosystem and you know where you've invested your dollars. And but I think, you know, it is a real question to ask: is Xbox dead? And I'm going to go on Mike Ybarra's side somewhat, in the sense of, yes, Xbox is dead as you want Xbox to be, because Xbox is an evolving platform. So people want Xbox to be this box that competes 1-for-1 with the PlayStation, that competes 1-for-1 with the Switch. You have to do things the exact way that they do it. And if you're not doing it the exact way they are doing it, then in the mainstream eyes, they want you to believe that Xbox is losing, that there won't be any more console, that there's no future for Xbox. So if that's the Xbox that you expect Xbox to be, then yes, Xbox is dead. Xbox is dead. They have risen from the ashes, and they have risen to be this platform / ecosystem that is permeated through a multitude of devices. We see that you have it in your car, you have it on your phone, you have it on your laptop, you have it on your PC, you have it on your TV through cloud, you have it through your Amazon Fire Stick, you have it through your dedicated hardware, the Series and now the ROG. You have it on your PC handhelds that are not Xbox branded. Xbox is everywhere you want to be, and people don't really like that, because if Xbox is on everywhere in anything, then you can no longer scrutinize them by the measure that you scrutinize Sony and Nintendo by. You see, Xbox now has 500 million active users across a multitude of devices. So if it has 500 million users, but only 30 million consoles sold, you know, how do you make the argument that it's failing? If, you know, we just had the report that we're going to talk about later Well, no, it's actually a part of this topic. We just got the report now. I now share it on the screen. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me go to my bookmarks. Courtesy of Hazardor Gaming. Pull this up. I'm gonna share my screen. Screen share, and we're gonna go to this window right here. Boom. Xbox. Let me see. Can I make myself smaller or something like that? I wish I could like zoom in on this. There we go. We can zoom in. How much can we zoom in? There we go. Sarah Bond says sales of Xbox Game Pass for the previous fiscal year reached a record high of $5 billion. It's a business that's generating profits. Now, this is only one sector of the Xbox business. It does not include what they make from game sales. Doesn't on the Xbox store. Doesn't factor in what they make on third-party stores. It doesn't factor in hardware sales, which I know are very much down for the platform right now. Doesn't factor in controllers or anything else. Xbox Live is dead now. It's all part of Game Pass. But yeah, it doesn't factor the multitude of ways that Xbox in addition makes money. So for them to reach $5 billion, microtransactions, all that good stuff, they hit $5 billion. A quote unquote dead console. So yeah, the console might be dead in the sense that it's not the console that necessarily going forward is going to compete with PlayStation and Nintendo as closed ecosystems. Yeah, in that sense, it's dead. Now it's an open ecosystem that allows you to game in a multitude of different ways. And it is very much alive in a much different way. Yes, Stanley, you are right on. 5 billion, and these dumbasses are saying Xbox is dead. They are right in a sense. Xbox is dead, but it's just dead in the way that it's not the platform that is a closed ecosystem that competes against PlayStation and Nintendo. So if they want to say it's dead in that way, then yes, they are correct. Xbox is very much dead, but it's also very much alive, and it's alive in a way that scares the hell out of anyone who is rooting for a different brand to have success over them. Because if Xbox keeps going this way, it's going to change the landscape of gaming, and we're going to talk about that a little later in regards to the ROG Ally and kind of the bad faith arguments that have been going on around that particular product. But yeah, Allie, go put that baby to bed. I know those times. It's not always easy. But yeah, rooting for you. Rooting for you for sure. Hopefully, they're getting to that point where they sleep through the whole night. I'll say that much for sure. Nobody has jumped on. Okay. So we can go ahead. Let me get this timestamp. We can go ahead and jump into the next topic. It's only me. I can't bounce too much off myself unless the chat has something else they want to contribute. Let's see. Yeah, I'm right there with you. They don't. Their platform of choice cannot swim in the waters that Xbox is taking them to. Sony doesn't have the money nor the infrastructure. Nintendo doesn't have the money nor the infrastructure to go ahead and lay out all the content, services, the Play Anywhere capabilities, and all the things that Xbox is currently doing. They just can't do it. If they did do it, they'd have to go through Amazon or Google for cloud services and things like that. They would have to have those companies rapidly build out their infrastructure so that they would be able to penetrate all these different markets, and also it would just be a very expensive task for them to do so, and to do it at the speed that Xbox is doing it at. They needed to start probably 6-7 years ago, maybe. I mean, think about it. PlayStation actually started doing this before Xbox did, and they can't even catch up. They bought Gaikai like in 2014, so they've been doing this for over a decade, and they haven't made it anywhere near as close to where Xbox has been as far as like capability, like just basic capability. We're not even talking about attach rate, but their cloud infrastructure and their cloud ability is nowhere near what Xbox's is. It's nowhere near what NVIDIA GeForce is. They don't compare to any of these, other cloud service providers in any way, shape, or form. Their cloud, people don't even talk about it anymore, as a positive or as a negative. I mean, the last time people really talked about it was mainly negative, and now nobody really talks about it. People talk about the portal, but most people, when they talk about the portal, they don't talk about the cloud capability. They more talk about the remote play capability, which is playing it off of their console, not playing it off of a cloud server. So, I mean, it's going to be very hard for these companies to catch up to what Microsoft is doing. I think PlayStation had the best shot because they had the hardware. They had the TVs, they had the cameras, they made laptops, they made cell phones. They still do make cell phones. But even the fact that they make all this hardware, they still can't get their software at a high penetration rate. Yeah. COD, losing COD, it didn't mess them up financially because they still have COD, but it puts Xbox in a position where it's like, you're our number one. Like, we rely on your games more than any other games in our that come to our store for our revenue. Like, our company doesn't make anything without most of your games being in our store. So it puts them in a really weird situation where, yeah, we have the hardware and we have the hearts and minds of most gamers as far as the hardware goes, but in the software, you have their hearts and minds. They're buying everything that you make, and they're buying nothing that we make. And that's actually a perfect transition into our next topic. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about Sony's new initiatives. And let me go ahead and grab a timestamp for that real quick. Boom. 28. All right. So let me go ahead and stop sharing for a second while I go and get the next thing. And that is going to be this F11 now. And add to stage. We're not going to do that anymore. Remove. Dang, stop sharing. Let's start sharing again. Share screen. Here we go. Boom. So what we have here, and I'm gonna have to zoom this up again. I hate how small it appears. I really do. All right, what we got here? How does that look? Let's see. Boom. All right. So Sony is eyeing IP pickups with the aim of becoming an entertainment trading house. And this report comes way of Nikkei Asia, and PSU is just kind of reposting their story in a sense. So Sony Group is looking to ramp up its acquisition of IPs in order to establish itself as an entertainment trading house, according to a report on Nikkei Asia. The PlayStation console maker has been growing its investments over the years, rather than creating new IP from scratch, which extends to other areas outside of video games. For example, it has investments in Kodakawa, which has an extensive portfolio of young adult novels. The company's investment into IP reached 1.9 trillion over the past 7 years, which includes games, movies, and anime. A veteran of Sony has said that the process of purchasing, developing, and combining business IPs is to bolster value as an entertainment trading house, and is a strategy that mirrors a number of major trading houses in Japan, including Itochu, Mitsubishi, and Mitsui. Daiwa security analyst Akaya Inomata said, "There's a gap between the company's current value and its stock price. One factor may be that the company is not disclosing enough information to enable a proper evaluation of its entertainment business." A Sony representative said that the former holder will enhance our disclosure moving forward. Back in September, Sony introduced Pollinator Network, an internal talent search system using generative AI to enhance matching accuracy. This resulted in over 200 cases of professional expertise and opinions being shared, including application of gaming technologies to film production. All right. So that's the end of the article, and I'll just kind of keep it there. And I found this really interesting because the article comments on something that I had been talking about quite a bit recently. And let's go to that part. This was the most interesting part of the article to me, and the fact that they recognize that they have all this IP that they consider to be extremely valuable, but the market has been telling them that no, it is not. And it's telling them that in a lot of ways. It's telling them that in their stock price, and it's also telling them that in their sales. That's why you see them repeatedly making a game and remastering it over and over and over again, because they see that IP and they see the value in it, and they value it at a much higher level than what the market is telling them. So that is why we see Last of Us being remade like 10 times over. That's why we see Horizon getting remastered and remade. That's why we see what's another one that they did over again recently? Days Gone, Until Dawn. They feel like these IPs should be making a lot more money than what they currently are, and they are not. Ghost of Tsushima was another one that they did like a little remaster for a couple years after it was already made for the PS5, and all they had it was like lip syncing. But yeah, so I've been saying this for a while. PlayStation has an issue of not necessarily making content, but identifying who that content is for and marketing it to them in a way that generates more sales for their products, because they have a 123 million install base on their consoles, and they don't even get a 10% attach rate on most of their games. Now, if you look at the Nintendo has like a 60 to 70% attach rate on their game. So if they make a game, like 70% of like Nintendo owners purchase a Nintendo game, and they release a ton of games, and Nintendo players buy Nintendo games. If you look at Xbox players buy an Xbox to play Xbox games. Like, they get Game Pass, they buy the games, and they play them. And then you have PlayStation gamers. PlayStation gamers buy a PlayStation, and of that 123 million, most of them never purchase a PlayStation game. They play Fortnite, they play Madden, they play FIFA, they play Call of Duty, they play all the games on them those top 10, top 20 charts, Grand Theft Auto, WWE. They'll buy freaking Final Fantasies. They'll buy what's another Resident Evils, they'll buy, Capcoms and Mortal Kombats, but they'll never buy a PlayStation game. And that is a huge disconnect that a lot of that what PlayStation is seeing. And they're trying to figure out, how can we sell more of our games to our install base? How can we make our products more valuable? And how do we get this value to be seen in a way that it reflects in our share price? And they're commenting on that. And that's why I believe that a lot of gamers who have suggested, hey, remake a SOCOM, remake a Resistance, remake a Killzone, remake a Legend of Dragoon. I think a lot of that falls on deaf ears because nobody's buying their games as is. So, like, how can I trust that if the community's telling me I should remake a Twisted Metal or I should remake a Legend of Dragoon, how can I trust that it's actually going to sell what I think the IP is worth? So I think it's kind of scared them off from relying on IP they already own. And they have gone out and tried to acquire other IP that people recognize the value in. So I don't have to convince you to buy Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the most recognizable IP out there. So I don't have to convince. I just got to go to Disney. I own the movie rights, but have to go to Disney and say, hey, can I make a video game? And I got to get the green light for that. I got to go to Disney again and say, hey, can I get Wolverine? Because I need that IP to sell games, because nobody wants to buy my IP. So let me go buy yours. Let me go to Kodakawa. Hey, you have this IP. Let me get that. Let me do this with it. Let me add it to this game. Let me maybe make my own game out of it. And let's make some money off of that. Oh, I really like that Stellar Blade. Let me purchase that IP from you, or, co-own it and then make some money off of that. So that's where I think PlayStation is right now. I think they're kind of in this awkward place where they're trying to really figure out how to make what they own appear more valuable to the market, while also acquiring IP that is already appealing to the market, that the market already sees the value in it. And I think that's just kind of the place that they're in right now. It's a very interesting place for them. And it extends way beyond gaming, because like I said, they have some shows that do really good, but in general, Sony movies don't necessarily do fantastic. So they're in a place there where they're trying to get the movies where they want them to be. I think the anime is kind of rocking right now. They own Crunchyroll. They own Funimation. They kind of, I don't know if they've 100% rolled that into one yet, but yeah, they're figuring it out. Like, how can I and that's what I've been asking a lot of questions around Sony and PlayStation, how they really view PlayStation at the moment, because PlayStation has been doing a lot of damage to Sony this past generation with all their failures. And on top of that, they're trying to figure out the IP thing, and they're kind of like going in like a different direction where I'm not sure PlayStation is as important to Sony as it was, even 5-6 years ago. So I'm just kind of curious to see how Sony starts to treat PlayStation in the future. It looks like investment in the brand is kind of going down. The quality and the titles doesn't appear to be as strong as it once was. Ghost of Yote still looks like a very good game in a lot of ways, but also in a lot of ways, you're not seeing the investment to where you're seeing like a bunch of new shiny things inside of it. Same thing with Spider-Man. You didn't see a lot of new shiny things inside of Spider-Man. It was a lot more of the same. And even with Soros looks a lot more of the same with Returnal. You're just not seeing a lot in these new games that are coming out. I think that's the result of what Hiroki Totoki said, that the studios don't really know how to make money, and they're trying to increase their margin on each studio. And I think the first part of that for them is kind of not necessarily doing a lot of innovation in these new games, kind of giving you more of the same, wrapped in a better story, maybe slightly fine-tune the mechanics and things like that. And, try to make a better game than the first one, but while at the same time, not going balls to the wall and kind of blowing your budget. And I'm interested to see where Sony and PlayStation go from here. The whole trading house thing is very interesting to me. Now moving on from that, let me drop this for a second, and I'll move on to the next thing going on with PlayStation, and that would be right here. Let me get it up first. That's what did they say? That's what she said when I said let me get it up first. All right, and the other thing I wanted to hit on, also via Hazardor Gaming. No, I'll go with VGT News because it kind of has a little bit more information. Yeah, remove this and then share screen. Boom. All right, and let's present that. Let's make me smaller. And so there's a new report that came out today. It's kind of been rumored for a while, but there's a new DualSense version 3 that is coming out that is, very much like the Xbox controller, in the sense that it will have a removable battery, and it's supposed to be coming out next month to replace existing models. In addition, PlayStation appears to be developing a new PS5 Pro that will have 3% less power than the current PS5 Pro model. Not all changes to the Pro are known at this time. All right, so that is kind of interesting to me, in the sense of I'm not gonna stay on this for long, but them coming out with the new DualSense that has a removable battery is not, to me, it's not necessarily copying Xbox. It is copying Xbox, but I think they're doing it because it's an admission that the DualSense battery has been terrible this entire generation. It hasn't been a very good internal battery for the new DualSense controllers. Maybe it's because of the new haptic feedback just drawing a lot more power than the previous controllers have in the past. That might be a thing. But I remember there was a patch that came out that was exclusive to the PS5 Pro, where the PS5 Pro would charge your controller differently so that the battery would last longer. So they recognize that this has been an issue, and they've tried to do things to address it. And I think they just kind of gave up, and they said, hey, we're just going to make a removable battery. So that people want to get a rechargeable pack and put it in there, they can, or they can just, pop batteries in and out and just get a longer gaming experience than what they're currently getting on the current DualSense controllers, especially, as the controller and the battery kind of wear down over time. So yeah, I do find that interesting. I do hope along with the V3 controller that they at least introduce Hall effect joysticks. I feel like that's something that needs to be in there. That should be in all controllers for a while, but these companies, they don't really want Hall effects in there because then you want to buy a new controller when the stick starts to drift. But yeah, I find that to be interesting. I don't know if anyone in the chat has any thoughts on that, but I thought I would touch on that since that is some gaming news that we've been kind of sticking to. But let me go ahead and jump into the final topic for tonight. Let me get my timestamp, and we'll rock out. Oh, what we got here? We got 44 to 50, and boom. So, Xbox ROG Ally scares detractors. And what do I mean by that? So, for a while now, I've been seeing a lot of people. Oh, we got Jube in here. Didn't realize. Jube, welcome. Hope I didn't have you there for long.
Nah, it was less than a minute. We
Oh,
good.
I can't. 1 second. Let me get my headset. Oh, forgot. My bad. They can hear you, but I can't. Hold on. I got that. There we go. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Can I? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh, snap.
It might be me. I didn't do a headphone check. Let's see. Audio might be me. All right. Should be good now. What's going on, Jube?
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Nothing. Chilling. I finished my first playthrough of Wukong, so that was nice.
Oh, you finished that pretty quick.
Yeah, bro. I was on his ass, bro. I told you.
Okay. All right. Cool. Man, you made it just in time for. Were you around for the Sony topic?
No, I missed. I thought we
Okay.
was doing this. I thought we was doing this Wednesdays. That's on me.
No. Wednesdays is gonna be like the locked in day, but C Money and Doodle, they didn't do their show tonight, so I figured I would take the slot. And there's so much news this week, so it's kind of going around and kind of I'm gonna have topics to talk about for like the next 2 or 3 days. If I'm only doing like 2 or 3 topics a day, there's been so much going on.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm kind of getting into this last topic. Now I know you weren't able to secure the ROG at this particular moment because you want the X. And how you feeling about that price tag, man? Like,
Yikes.
yikes.
The price of a graphics card, my guy. Oh.
yeah. And then if you get this docking station and the case, and you're looking at about a $1,500 upfront investment.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Hopefully it'll go down by the time I can afford to get one. That's nuts.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, definitely rough. Parlays have been nice to me, so I was able to just go ahead and pre-order it.
You ass,
man.
Bro, I've been missing by one leg for weeks now. It's pissing me the fuck off. Like just one.
I missed by one last night. It kind of hurt my feelings.
Nah, like the Dallas game, I called that shit, but I only had like 50 cents to put on it, so I only made like $80. But I did flip 50 cents into $80. So if I had some money to throw at that situation, I'd be straight. But
I made a couple bands off of the Dallas game.
Yeah, if I had some bread, I
made a couple bands off the Dallas game. But people don't want to hear about a degeneracy. They want to hear about the gaming degeneracy. So yeah, man. I mean, I've been seeing a lot going on around this Xbox ROG Ally X not being an Xbox. What are your thoughts on that?
Anything with Game Pass on it is an Xbox. It's that fucking simple. I don't care. You can't get Game Pass on a Nintendo console. You can't get Game Pass on a PlayStation. Anything else that you can get Game Pass on is an Xbox. At this point, that is how Microsoft views it. We're past console. Your smart TV, that's an Xbox. Your phone, that's an Xbox. Your PC, that's also an Xbox. Any handheld that you own that runs Windows or allows you to get Game Pass for PC is an Xbox.
Okay. So that's what they believe Xbox is. What do you believe Xbox is?
Wherever I can play Game Pass. Like I'm dead ass.
Okay, so you're aligned with Xbox's belief.
Yeah,
I,
like I'm
yeah,
with it. Like because I
I-
still have an Xbox. I physically have, but it's like
yeah.
when the experience is when the experience mirrors that on other devices, I don't like. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? Like they had to nail. They have to. They had to nail this UI. Like if it looks really no different than you booting it up on console and doing your thing, that's an Xbox to me. Be good. Like there's
Okay.
no friction.
So I'm of the mind. I've been of the mind. The more I read and the more arguments that I see, from fans, from the media, and even from like Digital Foundry and stuff. I do think that there is a fear of the Xbox ROG Ally, and I don't think the fear is all people who are Xbox haters. I think there's fear from people who are Xbox haters, which is we see a lot of that. And then I think there is also a fear that of people who are neutrals slash fans of Xbox. A certain segment of them. And I think it goes a lot of ways. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of people say that it's not an Xbox. You have people who are Xbox fans who are committed to the Xbox brand. They may not be Xbox diehards, but they're committed to the brand to some extent. And they're afraid of the Xbox ROG Ally because they're afraid that they're going to have to leave behind a portion of their library when they move to this device, that this device will not play all of their games. And initially it won't. Just like initially the Xbox One and Xbox Series didn't play most of your 360 games. Now, do they play all your 360 games now even still? No, they
No,
don't.
but they play a
But
nice chunk. It's a
they
nice chunk.
play a nice chunk of, you know, the most popular games that came out during the 360 era.
Yeah.
Um, Now I looked it up, and as of right now, you know, Play Anywhere titles, it is about 10% of the total Xbox Series library. So of the total,
Hold on. 10% at 1,000.
it's at 1,400. So it's like actually like about 11%. There's 13,000 games that you can purchase on the series at the moment. Now, when I say that there's 13,000, it's probably actually more than 10% because when you say that,
Hold on.
I was looking
Wh-
on the Xbox store yesterday. I was looking on the Xbox store. Actually, I was looking today before I did this show.
Yeah.
And it was 13,000 whatever titles that you could buy on the Xbox store currently. And then of those 13,000, like 1,493 or something like that was Xbox Play Anywhere. But when you say that, we also have to factor in that, when they say 13,000 whatever games, that's some of those are 3 games because you might have the standard, the deluxe, and the ultimate.
Yep. I
Uh,
was about to say that.
yeah,
Yep.
so you got that going on and stuff like that. So it's probably more like I would say it's probably more like what 25-30% of Xbox titles are Play Anywhere, and it's growing. I'd say probably closer to 20%. But if you go like 1 for 1 in the store, it's about 11.
Yeah.
It's probably closer to 20. And by next year, it'll probably be closer to 30-40%. Like it's going to be a growing thing. They're going to get more and more titles to be Play Anywhere. But that is a legitimate concern that gamers have. But at the same time, you can play those games on the cloud, and you can remote play them as well.
Exactly. You're not missing no meals, bro. It might not be a native experience, but the shit can still play it.
But being native is still important, so I don't want to take that away.
Yes, it is.
Because you're not always going to have good internet everywhere you go. But the cloud experience is at the point now where if you hop on and you play cloud, for most games, you can't really tell that you're playing on the cloud, especially if it's not like a competitive type game. So there's a lot of games that if you play on the cloud, you won't really recognize that it's a cloud-based experience. It's just going to be as smooth as playing native. But there's also a group of people who are kind of purists, and they kind of want that console war thing to be there, and they don't want necessarily for there to be a world where you brag that something's exclusive and I'm still playing it on a device of preference, because we're still locked in this world where hardware is king. And even though I didn't buy it on the quote unquote Xbox store, I may have bought it on Steam or GOG or Epic, I'm still playing the same game that you thought I wouldn't have access to because I don't have a PlayStation.
Yep.
Or I don't have a Nintendo. So that's another reason for detractors. Then there's a whole nother group of detractors who see the price and it worries them that this is the direction that all devices will end up going, where I will only be able to afford one device. Like in the future, I might, there's going to be people who have to decide, do I get this handheld or do I get this console? I'm not going to be able to afford the handheld and the console, because if the console's $1,000, the box that goes under my TV is going to be more than that. Like realistically, it just is in the future. If the highest end of the console is $1,000, the highest end of the if the highest end of the handheld is $1,000, the highest end of the console is probably going to be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500.
Maybe.
That's a legitimate fear that people are going to have.
Yeah.
It ain't no maybe. Come on.
No. I mean, they can have the fear, but you also have to think this isn't like Microsoft had to work with Asus to make this. It's not like 100% in-house where they can subsidize and like get shit like that. Like somebody had to pay for this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they there was no subsidizing this just because of how it came about. When Microsoft makes their own in-house one, this is a different conversation.
Yeah, they will be able to subsidize, and the difference there will be that Asus does not have a game store where they can make their money back on game sales.
Exactly.
Xbox has a game store where they can make their money back on game sales.
Yep.
And
they also, I'm pretty sure this was the experiment. This was seeing how feasible the Microsoft made handheld is going to be. Because if this does well, if this does what it needs to do, then they know. Then they know they have an audience. And guess what? I guarantee, like I said, the Microsoft one is not going to be $1,000. It's not going to be $1,000. Mm-hmm. It might be $800. It might be up there, but it's not going to be $1,000. Like this was more so to take the first bite out of the apple and see what they're rocking with before they submit to full R&D and like not even we're past R&D, but like full send, like we're doing this and go down that road, because handhelds can lose you a lot of money. Like it's wild.
But what I'm gonna say is, then to me, here's the largest group of detractors. And to me, the largest group of detractors that I see are the people that are arguing that it's not an Xbox because Asus made it, and then that because they partnered with someone else to make it, it's not an Xbox, and that it's only a PC handheld that is running Windows 11. And
so why isn't an Xbox console an Xbox brand PC? Because it's running on AMD parts. Like that argument doesn't really stick.
I don't think it holds up either. But what I will say is that I think the fear there is that if people come to acknowledge that the Xbox PC handheld running on Windows 11 is an Xbox, then every other PC handheld that is not a Steam OS device is also an Xbox. And if they're all in Xbox, then that means that every PC is an Xbox.
Yep.
And even if it's not physically an Xbox, if everyone believes that it's an Xbox, then it's an Xbox. And if everyone believes that and it becomes the de facto experience that people believe in, then all of a sudden their favorite platform is way outnumbered. And they're no longer the dominant platform. And the one thing, and the example that I'm going to give is iPads, right? I don't give a fuck what you buy your kid. You can buy them a Fire tablet, you can buy them a Galaxy tablet, you can buy them a Lenovo tablet. When you take them to their grandma's or their auntie's house, they're gonna say, "Go get that iPad."
Yep. You're right. You are right.
They are not going to call it a Fire. They're not going to call it a Fire.
They're not going to call it a Galaxy Tab. No, it's going to be the iPad, bro.
They're going to call it an iPad. They're going to call everything an iPad. When I walk into a store, when I go into a store and I purchase what is it? What the fuck is it called? And I purchase anything and I go to tap with my phone to pay, they call it Apple Pay. Every single time. Doesn't matter what type of phone I pull out. They say, "Oh, you're using Apple Pay?" Like, no, I'm using Samsung Pay. What does it matter which pay I'm using? But they always call it Apple Pay.
Yeah,
no matter
right.
what.
It's brand recognition. Like it's a whole thing. Like people have been conditioned. Yeah,
it's mind share. So I think people are afraid that the Xbox ROG Ally X is going to be a device that shifts the mind share of Xbox to where people start to call devices that are not actually Xbox branded devices Xbox. So and I think that scares the hell out of people in the industry, and I think it also scares the hell out of people who are brand loyalists, because a lot of people in the industry, for better or worse, have buttered their bread on the PlayStation brand. You know, whether they like PlayStation or not, they have made their money, they have built their brand, they have built their websites behind the PlayStation brand. And if there's a major shift there, then it changes everything for them, you know? So I think that is kind of like, there's so many angles, and you just got to kind of recognize where people fall in line with that. Because I think people are just really scared that Xbox is going to steal the mind share of the masses with all these moves they are making to make everything an Xbox. Just like everything is an iPad, just like everything is an Apple Pay. I think that is what they are concerned about. You know, like, I don't care if you pull out a Digimon or a Monster Rancher, it's a fucking Pokemon if you ask my grandma. If you ask my mom, it's a Pokemon. You know what I'm saying?
Pokemon, yeah.
It's a Pokemon. You pull a Digimon card all you want, that's a Pokemon card. I ain't learning no other names. You're lucky I learned the first one.
My mom was calling Yu-Gi-Oh Pokemon. Like it's like it's all the thing. Like I get it.
That's what it is. And people are, you know, genuinely worried about that. Because then their brand, whatever brand they're a fan of, becomes so insignificant at that point. Like, you could say I have a PlayStation, yeah, whatever, fucking Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, Xbox on my phone, Xbox on my TV. I don't see PlayStation nowhere unless I buy a PlayStation. I see Xbox everywhere, whether I buy one or not. You know, so it's like, I think that's kind of, you know, where that's at. I think that's the world that people are afraid of running into. But yeah, man. Yeah, what do you have it? You have any other thoughts on the Xbox?
Yeah,
ROG Ally detractors.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of people maybe feel deepened by the fact that it's like, oh, like there's like an Xbox brand device that can play PlayStation games. You know, like something with Xbox branding playing a PlayStation game is just wild. It's wild to some people, and they feel like they're totally like maybe they feel cheapened out of it. You know,
Yeah,
that
and
is happening to them. So like I understand because nobody wants to feel cheapened out of their purchase or feel like they kind of been had because it's like, oh, I didn't need to buy a PlayStation to play all these things. Like no, not really, but nobody likes feeling that way. So I get it, and
yeah,
people react all they want, but it's like this is Microsoft messaging. You're not going to tell the people selling the shit that are marketing the shit how to market
so
it.
I was I was looking at that today. Actually, I was on the Steam store because someone said that Steam was having a big sale, and I was like, "Will I buy a PlayStation game for my ROG Ally X on Steam?" And I was looking at it, and I was thinking about like getting like Ghost of Tsushima or like one of the God of Wars or something like that, just so I could play it on my thing, or like one of the Spider-Mans or something like that. And the pricing, like they done lost their mind. Like bro, Ghost of Tsushima is how old now? Came out what, 2018?
Yeah,
That's about a 7-year-old game.
yeah,
It's $40 on sale.
yeah. They pulling that Nintendo card, bro.
Nah, they going
It
to
ain't
catch
that
me.
bad. It ain't that bad.
They going to catch me lower than that. Bro, I already bought the deluxe edition on my PlayStation,
Yeah, same.
so I'm not paying 40 again.
Yeah,
Not
that's nuts. It's crazy pricing, but
like
I get it. Sony
like
really trying to get to that bag. They're like they held out. They gonna pay. They gonna pay what they
yeah,
pay.
like I already own it. Like I should have like an owner's discount. Like
And this is why
30
Play Anywhere is so good. This is exactly why
$30.
Play Anywhere is so great.
No, but I would have been like, if it was like, all right, if the normal price was like $49.99 and it was 30% off, I would have bought it today.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? Like Stellar Blade's a little bit more acceptable. It's $47.99. Like maybe I'll buy that one. Like I'm not against buying it. Like I just bought the new Demon Slayer game today.
Yeah,
Man,
why? Why?
because my kid wanted to play it. I
Oh,
mean,
okay. Okay. You got an
I,
excuse.
yeah,
It's not good. It's not good.
I bought it because my kid wanted to play it. But I've been buying like games left and right. Like I bought the Final Fantasy already. I bought Hogwarts Legacy. Like I've been buying like 2-3 games a week because it's been like I've been finding like a sale here, a sale there. So I've been buying a bunch of games. But yeah, I don't see it. Like Forza Horizon 5 on Steam is $30. Like that's where Ghost of Tsushima should be. That's where God of War should be. About $30 at this point. Like I'm not
And you
not
got to
hating
think, how much content does that $30 get you? It's a crap ton of content for that $30
now.
on top of that.
Now what kind of upsets me is that Cyberpunk 2077 is not Play Anywhere. But
It doesn't need to be honest.
but on Steam, it is currently $20. So I might
How
have to
much?
make.
How much is it in the Xbox store?
I don't know, but it's not Play Anywhere.
It's not. It's not. You'd have to buy an entirely separate copy. But it's like people have bought these games. They know what they're buying. You should enjoy the you know like
So
if you haven't bought Cyberpunk yet,
the Ultimate Edition is $38.62. I'm gonna buy that tonight.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm gonna
But
buy that.
it is also CD Project Red. Don't be giving shit out for free unless it's like a
Uh,
direct game tie-in.
and plus, I can download the third person mod.
You get
So
mods like that. I mean, the fact that you can get mods and stuff kind of makes it worth the price.
yeah, so I might
And
get
you
that.
get all the content. That
And
comes with the expansion, right?
yeah, and I'm getting that ROG, so I can dock it and still play it like on the TV.
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't want to play Cyberpunk on a 7-inch screen primarily. I mean, I might play it a little bit on there, but I don't want that to be like my primary experience. So
I mean, I'll say it's still going to probably look better on your console that you got, but
now it's going to look better on my ROG if I dock it.
We'll see. Them presets are still real. You ain't like I'm talking about just graphical preset wise. I don't know. This is still a handheld at the end of the day.
Shit, might throw that GPU on it, power it up a little more. Feel me? So, but yeah. So while you're here, I know you came back a little late. I'm gonna give you a chance to just kind of get some quick bars and on the previous topics real quick, and then we'll roll out. I know you came and jumped in, so I want to give you a chance to get your bars off on a couple of these real quick. So I'm just going to jump back, and then we'll roll out for the night. So Mikey's bars comments: Xbox consoles are dead. What were your thoughts when you heard that?
So Mike said some shit to me like a couple of months ago that I ain't like. So he's already not on my good list.
He talked to you on Twitter? Okay.
Yeah, he replied to me, and I'm just like this nigga. So
what do he say to you?
I have to pull it. I'll share it in the group later. But like, nah, like he just got on my nerves, and I'm just like this guy. Like no, he can't. Like you saying that, and it's just like, bro, you've been company hopping. Just stop talking. Like you contributed to this. if it is indeed dead, you was also an architect in that failure, bro. Own that shit. Stop talking.
So do you feel like Xbox is dead? Or you just feel like he was 100% wrong? Okay.
Yeah, like no, like we're still gonna get consoles. It's just gonna be a PC.
I actually agreed with him that Xbox is dead in the sense that he is talking about. But Xbox is very much alive. That was my ultimate takeaway. Xbox is very much alive.
Like as it was Xbox versus Sony, that's dead.
Yeah,
that part's dead.
Yeah, as he wants Xbox to be, it is dead.
Yeah,
that's kind of the takeaway that I came away with. So
yeah, Nintendo and PlayStation can fight it out for that. You know, they've moved on. They know they're not going to win the sales race. They know that.
Yeah,
and now it's not about that. Now it's just about the spread. Get it on in as many hands, as many eyes, as many platforms as you can, and make good because you're never going to beat PlayStation in the sales race up front. It's never going to happen. The closest y'all came was against the PS3 with the 360, and you fell off still at the end. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you still didn't definitively win that, and it was very winnable.
Yeah, I feel you.
I would have dropped the price an extra $100 just to make sure that I got the price with the red ring did them in. If that didn't happen, if the red ring didn't happen, just imagine.
I don't think the red ring did them in. I think the TV Xbox press conference did them in.
No, because I didn't mind that one on the 360 when they were still doing Connect stuff. Like I was all over Project Natal, bro. Like I was all over that.
Yeah, but when they
that Milo shit, like it never happened, and I'm still salty about it.
The announcement of the Xbox One was so tone deaf.
Oh yeah,
I think
Xbox One was garbage,
and it being $100 more than the PS4, was just very tone deaf.
It was arrogant. It was arrogance.
So I think that's kind of what did them in more so than the Red Ring of Death. I think they actually survived the Red Ring of Death pretty good because they actually stood by their product and fixed them over and over and over and over again. Every time they broke, they fixed it for free. So yeah. I think that wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. And I'm gonna get you on this last topic that I did. The Sony IP trading, them trying to be an IP trading house, and the new controller that has a removable battery. What were your thoughts?
Hold on. I haven't read into the whole IP trading thing. If you want to give me like the super cliff note.
I still have the article. Basically, they are attempting to. Dang, did I lose the article? Let me go back. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Basically, they're like trying to like acquire all these IPs because they don't believe in their own IPs, basically. And as part of that, they're trying to get their share price to where they believe it should be.
Like as a company, like the Sony stock.
Yeah, they're trying. They think there's a big discrepancy between the share price and what the actual value of the company is, and they're trying to use purchasing other IP to kind of bridge that gap and get to where they believe it should be.
Sounds like they want to be Microsoft, don't they?
Well, the controller thing maybe, but I think the IP trading house is just like I said. I just think it's just a struggle that PlayStation has had in general. I've spoken to it for a while that they make a lot of great stuff, but it doesn't appeal to anyone, and they don't know how to market it to people so that it does appeal to them.
Yeah, but it's like, why did Microsoft buy these studios? Because their IPs wasn't doing it. That's literally one of the main reasons. Like, they know that their own shit wasn't doing it. So it's just like, I can just see some of the parallels there. Like, it's an entirely different situation. It's hard to feel sympathy when you're crying at the top. You feel me? Like,
I don't think it was their IPs weren't doing it. I think Xbox was in the position where they didn't have enough IP, and and for the IP that they had, they didn't have enough studios to bring it all to light.
Yeah.
So I think that was like the biggest thing for them. But I just want to give you and the controller.
The control, bro. As soon as I start seeing people okay with some swappable batteries, oh, you know how much bullshit I had to sit through? Like, oh, look, your controller has AA batteries. I'm like, your controller. I'm like, okay, it's not a AA battery. It's still a swappable battery. It's not all internal, bro. Like I think the DualSense battery is complete ass. The fact that they're doing a swappable battery sounds like a welcome addition to me. Because I hate being tethered by that short ass cord.
I was saying that I think them going to the removable battery is an admission that there's something wrong with the original DualSense's battery, and they're just like
bro, I've been saying it. Like, I know you see me when I be out here saying like that battery lasts 18 minutes, bro. Like, I know that's an exaggeration, but that's how it feels.
Yeah, so I think it was an admission of that, but yeah.
They know, like, bro, like, who's gonna replace the battery in their DualSense Edge once that thing goes? That's the other thing. These batteries are eventually going to go. They're not. It's not gonna last forever. It's gonna stop holding a charge. Eventually, you're gonna have to buy a brand new one by that time.
I mean, but that's even when you buy an Xbox Elite controller, though.
Absolutely.
You buy it knowing that.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
100%. I know that, but it's like having the removable option. Just having it as an option means you can still keep the physical controller. You're just buying a new battery, bro. And I'd rather you do that.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. But yeah, if you don't have any other thoughts on it, I could just go ahead and
I'm just looking forward to everybody willing to eat shit saying that they cool with battery swaps now. Like, it's just gonna be funny as hell.
Oh, did you see that Amazon fucked up?
No, what they fuck up?
It's Xbox ROG Ally X's out in the wild now.
Ooh.
People have already started getting their deliveries from Amazon on the ROG Ally X.
What if this was a calculated slip? What if this was on purpose?
I mean,
what better way to drum up buzz for an $1,000 product?
Is it possible? I guess so. Like, I'm not gonna put it out of the realm of possibility.
You act like Microsoft wouldn't put the clamps on something like that happening. They got too much money. They'd be like, "What are you doing?" Like, and why would Amazon risk that kind of?
It's not like 1,000 people got them, but a couple people.
Yeah, but still, breaking street date is like a thing. Like, you remember how, like, in the retail space, how important that is. Like, you can lose some stuff doing shit like that. Imagine breaking street. Imagine you're a big box store that breaks street date for like a Nintendo product. Bet you won't have another Nintendo product in your store. I bet you that.
Yeah.
They're gonna swoop right in and be like, "Nope, you're cut. Bye."
I mean, I wish I was one of those people that got it early. But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of dope. People got it early.
I mean, I think it's cool as hell, but it's like, that's crazy that Amazon even let that happen. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm salty. I just couldn't even sniff one. So
'Cause
it is what it is.
I gotta wait 16 days.
That's fine. You gonna get it though.
And
You gonna get it.
they have sold out. Even at Best
Yeah,
Buy, they sold out.
yeah.
You can still pre-order it, but the next pickup date is like November the 14th.
Mm.
So that's what I saw
I'll
today.
I'll circle back around during tax season. We'll see.
Well, I think they're gonna have like Black Friday sales and stuff like that. I think the ones of us who were dumb enough to get it on launch day, I think there's gonna be a sale in a month.
Let me get an Xbox like some extra green accents. Let me get that special edition joint. That's got to happen.
But to be honest, I think the white one is good enough for most people. I think the biggest difference that the Z2 Extreme chip is gonna have for you is if you're docking it. But I think that for the handheld experience, I think it's gonna be damn near 1-to-1. So
You do have significantly more RAM to work with on another system, so there are
yeah.
definitely absolutely going to be technical differences in how your game looks based on your handheld, just off of the RAM
Yeah,
aspect
but
of it.
but with
Nobody's
the
going to argue like a 16 gig video card is going to punch above a 24 gig video card.
no, I'm not
That's
saying
not
that.
going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that, but I just don't think the difference is gonna show up on the handheld. I think
Mm.
the difference is gonna show up when you dock it.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I think in the handheld experience, it's gonna look 1-to-1, but when you dock a $600 one versus a $1,000 one, you're gonna definitely notice a difference. You know
That's
what I'm
fair.
saying?
Yeah. No, I got you.
So
So like, because I look at the white one as literally a portable Series S. That's what I'm rolling with as far as what we're talking about.
no, I think you're gonna get damn near a 1-to-1 experience in handheld mode
Yeah,
for
like nah,
the ROG versus the X.
we gonna find out. You gonna have one. You gonna tell us all about it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you all about the X. I'm not getting the white one.
Yeah. No, I
I mean,
got you.
I am gonna buy 2 more, so I might buy white ones.
Yeah, I don't listen. You know,
I don't think my kids need $1,000
yeah,
device.
your sons are dope as hell, but they can get the regular joint, bro.
Yeah, they can get the regular one. I don't think they need $1,000 devices.
Imagine breaking $1,000 joint. There's a $400 difference.
Well,
Replacing
I got a 2-year. Well, I got it through Best Buy. I get an automatic 2-year warranty. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about buying $2,000 devices plus cases.
When you could spend the cost of that getting the white ones fully equipped with everything that you
yeah, you
need.
got to get cases, screen protectors. Shit, they might have like little grip drop protection things, whatever everything when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
Little 2-year warranty joint, but yeah, I know I'm gonna get 2 more around the holiday season. But yeah, but my kids, man, they got all
Spoiled.
the shit.
Spoiled.
They got shit that I don't got. Like they got the VR headsets.
Spoiled.
And I don't touch their, like if I buy them a VR headset, it's their VR headset. I don't touch it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like, let me borrow your VR headset so I can play some VR games. Like, no, it's theirs. But with that said, we can go ahead and roll into outros. I really appreciate everybody for coming out. Hit that like button, hit that notify, subscribe. I would love to see you guys out here more, talk more about gaming. I do want to hit on some things. And Loomis says he strongly believes that Xbox is moving out of hardware and going full spin on software. I don't necessarily agree with you on that. I do think they're still going to make reference hardware, kind of like how NVIDIA makes a reference card or AMD makes a reference card. but then everyone else gets to make their own version of, you know, the card, and some may be better than the reference card. I think that's kind of going to be the world that we live in.
End of the day, Microsoft would still get a piece of all of that. So
yeah,
it's like they're
yeah,
cool with it.
They will, but I think we're still going to see Xbox hardware for at least another generation, at least another one.
I give them another 10 years. I think this Xbox PC, they're gonna find a way to make it moddable, and then we really ain't gonna have to worry about it. It's gonna be like, get your upgrade pack in like 5 years, and swap some stuff, and call it good.
And another one from Loomis, I guess he was, when I was talking about everything being called an iPad, he said everyone used to call consoles Nintendos, and I don't disagree, but I think they're kind of worried about the same thing becoming with Xbox, that the casual audience who doesn't even game comes to just call everything an Xbox. That becomes the common language amongst people. So yeah, I definitely know what he's saying. PlayStation, Xbox, or PlayStation are dead gaming systems because because the biggest video game selling platform, a console, will never be a PC. You can't play Steam games on them. Yes, but you can play Steam games on the new devices that Xboxes are pushing out. They're making them hybrid. So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with most of the stuff you're saying. I think we're kind of like-minded but different at the same time. But yeah, that said, I want to thank everyone for coming through, getting your weekly dose of the vitamin G. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. With that said, we are out. Peace. Thank you, Stanley.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
With beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
On the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. West and the east, I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Vitamin J.
all alone.